Okay, Hal, you've got the economics background, no doubt. You've got the political background also. Let's talk politics. What is going on in this nation?
Well, what we have are extremists in the Democrat Party, quite frankly. Everyone's like, well, you know, we need to work together. I'd love to work together, but they're not there. They're not even on the same. We're not even in the same country anymore with the Democrats. And as a perfect example, not to get into abortion, but they voted. Every single Democrat voted to have abortion up until birth. Okay, that is an extremist position. No one even does that in Europe. That's not anywhere in the world, and they all voted lockstep for that. So you can't tell me that anybody on that side of the aisle is a moderate. They're simply not.
Well, they've labeled, though, on the other hand, President Biden gets up and says, if you're a MAGA Republican, which is 74 million voters who voted for President Trump, you're the extremist. You've got a MAGA ETF.
Yeah, no, I know. Look, he ran saying he was going to bring the country together. All he's done is try to divide. And you saw it in his speech that he gave a few weeks ago, and it's really disappointing. He's being controlled by people. Obviously, we all know this. These speeches that he gives he's not writing them. Somebody else is writing them. He's barely able to speak and put them out. But yeah, no, I started the MAGA ETF. In September of 2017, so it's been 5 years ago that I started that, but it was a pushback against what's happening in the political realm right now.
Yeah, well, what caused you to do it? What was the trigger you say, I've got to get investments that align with values?
Yeah, I've managed money for a long time, as you said in the opening, over 25 years actually, and I was sitting at my desk one day, and it came up on CNBC or Fox Business that Target was going to open up their restrooms and dressing rooms to whatever sex you said you were. So if you were a man, you could go into the female dressing rooms, and I was like, wow, that's going to be really bad for the stock. And I own Target and some of the portfolios I was running. I sold Target that morning, and Target proceeded to decline about 40% after that over the next 6 months. And but also there were a lot of protests that happened around that, surprisingly. Right. But there were protests, and I was like, these people are protesting Target, and they're saying they're not going to shop at Target, but they probably own Target in their mutual funds. They probably own it, and they're indirectly. They don't even realize they're protesting.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
sure.
what they're actually they're investing in. And I was like, there's got to be a way to invest with people that want to invest based on their political ideology. And that led me to start looking at this, and I realized, look, the way all these corporations say all these left-leaning things. They publicly say this stuff, but what are they really doing behind the scenes? What are they spending their money on? And that's what I followed: was where are they putting their money? Where's their PAC dollars going? Where are their employees putting their money? And I created an ETF around that, and people can invest in companies that are supporting Republican federal candidates for office. And also, I've added where at least 50% of their assets have to be in the United States. So it's America First approach, and putting where are their politics, where are they investing money? Because money matters in politics. Unfortunately, it does. And if you have enough money, you can win an election. And therefore, if companies are publicly supporting these groups or different candidates, that's where I wanted people to be able to invest.
Well, and what you've done, you were a pioneer. You've done the opposite of what BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard have done. They've taken the money of good Americans that really don't want this wokeness, and they're voting the proxies, and they are investing the dollars that they earn as management into things that really oppose our values.